Hey guys, okay, so this is going to be a video response to, same as it ever was, 11, or Brittany. She did a video about, does your family think you're cuckoo for what you believe? Now, as far as I'm from my personal experience, I'm sure my family does think I'm crazy. No, I'm not sure. I know my mom thinks I'm crazy. But at the same time, I think she thinks I'm crazy because she doesn't fully understand it. And I made several attempts to try and explain myself and be more open because I don't want to have that, like, gap between us, because I'm very, I'm big family oriented, so, like, I don't like having, like, really big secrets, really big secrets between me and my family, or, parents or whatever. Especially something like that where it's so important and so, a big part of me. But I remember just growing up and when I was getting into it and practicing and studying more, that she would occasionally look at me funny, and there's been several times she's called me weird right to my face, and it's kind of made me laugh, and I've accepted it. I don't really care. And I mean, more recently, when I for lack of a term, I kind of came out to her in terms of what I believe, and I gave it a name. I didn't call it Wicca, I call it paganism, just because I figured the W word would be a little bit intense right now. But so I came out to her and I explained different aspects of it, and she was perfectly okay with it. But she was trying to understand. She goes, well, okay, because I was trying to correlate different things and say, okay, well, you know how you have, you guys have, you know how the seasons are? She was right. Okay, well, we celebrate the seasons. We follow the seasons. Our life revolves around the season. It's okay. Well, she was, well, okay, well, we already do that anyway. Like, I know, but you have to understand it's a little bit more in depth, and it's a lot more of a celebration of the turning, not just the season itself. And so she kind of got it, and she kind of is a little bit whatever. But I mean, again, it's one of those things where, I mean, I've always talked about in my videos. I have my altar in my room. It's permanent. It's always there. Plenty of stuff on it. I'm sure she probably could, if she wanted to, go through everything, but she doesn't. I don't know if she has. No, I'm sorry. I know she hasn't, because it's strategically placed so that I know if anybody touches it. But yeah, she's never screwed with it. Never touched anything. She's looked at it a few times, and she knows it's there. And I refer to my altar sometimes, I'll put my necklace down, I'll say, hey, can you grab my necklace off my altar or whatever, or my tiger's eye or whatever. So she knows it's there, but we just sort of both ignore it. As far as the rest, and okay, besides that, my sister is the only one who doesn't think I'm crazy. She understands it, she respects it, and she knows it's not some goofball made up thing that I'm just sort of going through like a phase or something. Okay, so then besides that, the rest of my family, they don't really know. I don't ever talk about it in a religious sense. I mean, they do know some of the practices, and I mean, with them, I kind of go more of like the natural aspect and say, well, I work a lot with herbs and, making teas and tinctures and incense blends, and they know I do meditation and, breathing exercises and things like that, so they understand that. And they all pretty much, for the most part, know that I don't believe in Jesus and their version of God. They just don't know what my God is. I think they all think I'm atheist or something. But again, it's just one of those things where I don't really care if they know, because I just need my personal, intimate family to know, and the rest of them can not have to worry about it, because it's not their concern. Beyond that, I mean, all my friends know, and at first I thought I was crazy because of, obviously, stereotypical Hollywood interpretation of what a witch is and what Wicca is. Whoa! Sorry. What Wicca and witchcraft is, and it kind of was one of those, gave me the baseline questions of, you sacrifice shit? You wear black all the time? What do you do? Do you dance around naked? And I had to explain this all, and most of them got it for the most part. But I do have a couple of friends that are fairly Catholic, pretty devout, and they respect my religion. They totally were like, okay, whatever. But I know, and I've physically seen it with my own eyes, that they're very apprehensive and afraid of it anyway. Because there are several times where I've actually asked them to come by to a ritual or a celebration or something that I'm doing myself or with others, and they've just sort of been like, no, I'm sorry, we can't. I don't want God to be upset and whatever. And I've tried to explain and reason with them, but they're not going to get it, and I'm not going to bother to go with it, so I don't really care. They're still great friends. I don't really care. We can just not talk about religion. It doesn't bother me. Beyond that, as far as doing workings and spells and rituals or whatever, or meditations even, within my home when my parents or anybody is still home, I do it all the time. Of course I do. I don't care. I close my door and that's the end of it. You know, I do try to make sure that they're not, wandering the house or whatever, but, I know at certain points of the day I can go in my room and close the door and I'm not going to be bothered for like an hour or two to do things. And I've done plenty of spells, rituals, small rituals, many meditations, and nobody really ever bugs me. And beyond that, I mean, I have other, like, kind of like, how some people have like ongoing spells or whatever. They see them all the time. I'll have, candle lit for something, or I'll have, more recently I've had like I've been getting a lot of crystals coming in, so I've been, cleansing them and purifying them. So I have this one little wooden bowl that I bought that I put salt in, and then I use it to neutralize the energies of the crystals, and then I put it out in the sun to do all that. And so they see it all the time. My room is my witchy room, and it is very active. I do a lot of things in it. There are a lot of things going on, and they all know this, and they see it all the time. I don't hide anything. My cabinet, my altar table, it is like a small cabinet. So I use the top as the altar, and then the bottom has got two little double doors that have, shelves inside. So I put my herbs and my supplies and things in there. And I've never had anybody ever go through that or mess with it or whatever. But, it's just one of those things where, I guess it's just because I think what it is with my mom, as much as she thinks I'm crazy and is not really understanding it all the way, I've told her several times, and she kind of, I think, knows in her heart that this isn't something that I'm making up. This is something real. I am being serious. It's just she's not understanding it, and she just prefers to not worry herself over it, because she's comfortable in her own thing, which is weird because, like I've mentioned in a lot of videos, my parents are not religious at all in any respect. They're more of a blind following, if anything. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm going to cut this short because now I have to go back to work. And glad to hear you're back. Glad to see you're back. Looking forward to more conversations, and I'm looking forward to the web shows on Mondays, which is actually today as well. So, yay! Alright, blessed be.